marketing is more than just the advertising that we see every day. Understanding what drives people, what drives their lives and the decisions they make is at the core to understanding and being a good marketer. So what we do is we have a whole process that goes from market scoping to strategy, as in segmentation, targeting and positioning. Who are we going to go for? How are we going to target them? What are they sensitive to? What do they like? What do they not like? What kind of mediums work for them? And how can we reach the customer where they are? Then is the tactics piece. And whilst many, many people start with the end, doing the promotion elements, before that, we need to know how price sensitive they are. What is it that they are looking for? And how can we make sure that we have the right products in front of the right customers? So marketing is the management process, okay? The process responsible for identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customer requirements profitably. We are the function that are the eyes and ears of the consumer within the business. We understand what the customers want. We understand what makes them happy. We also try to understand what doesn't make them happy and then shape our offerings accordingly. There is then the choice around brands. Okay, lots of businesses go, right, we need to first have an offering. We need to build our business. We need to get products out there, know who our customers are, and brand building is often an afterthought. Brands are the face of a business strategy, because your brand is who you say you are and who you're trying to reach and where you're trying to go. Ultimately, marketing is all about finding and solving customer problems and finding problems that customers actually care about. One of the marketers' biggest nemesis is not competitors. Everyone always thinks it's competitors, it's lower prices, it's this X, Y, Z. It's people doing nothing, not feeling the pain enough, not caring enough, not having a reason enough to actually engage with the brand. And whilst marketers and brand builders all go, well, we want, we're a loved brand. People care about us. The reality is that we're not solving problems that they care about. They won't even think about. It's about understanding those problems, those needs, and making sure that when customers have them, that they not just think about you and your brand. They don't just think about your products. They think about you in a positive way, and so much so that you'll actually engage with it and hopefully buy it, or at least be one of the last 2 or 3 that you actually buy. So I love marketing because it is that sweet spot between economics and psychology. We need to underpin our knowledge and understanding with economics, sound understanding of economics, but also the psychology that drives people, the psychology that drives change. Marketing is not just selling products and services. You can have social marketing where you could be getting change. You could be trying to build people around an idea, a movement. Look at things like Just Stop Oil. Look at movements like Extinction Rebellion and even Greenpeace, who've had a number of campaigns over I wouldn't want to guess how long they've been around, but I suspect it's well over 100 years. This is the 95-5 rule. Only 5% of your customers are ready to buy right now. That means that the other 95% of the marketplace isn't ready, probably isn't even thinking about you, probably isn't even thinking about the need that they have. So what companies sometimes do is they fall in the trap of only serving the 5% ready to buy right now. And then moving on to another product, discounting, without realizing that actually we need to build brand alongside. How do we make sure that when the next 5%, the ones that 5% who are ready to buy next week, have the need that they think of us, and that we're not unnecessarily discounting and giving away margin? Price and quality have a link, and often customers who see continual discounting can actually be negatively affected by the brand. You get perceived as a cheap brand, and you cheapen what you offer. You cheapen your offer and what you stand for. So actually, where does this balance lie? The challenges that businesses face: they release a new product to the market, it sells, it serves that 5% that's available now, and then it starts to tail off. So you then decide, right, we're going to do a campaign, we're going to push it out, and you'll see that uplift, and then down it goes. So if you're constantly caught in the trap of sales promotion, down in sales, and you get into that up and down effect of peaks and troughs in revenue and sales, but equally, your customers may actually be put off buying. Those who get used to your sales cycle may even be put off buying until they know your next sale is happening. So who here puts off technology purchases in August, September to see what happens in Black Friday? I know I do. So again, you get used to these patterns, these sales patterns, and actually you can end up giving away margin unnecessarily. But here's the thing. This is where brand building comes on. Really thinking about how do we build this brand so that when people think of us, they think of us in a positive way, but also that we can have more long-term stuff that's going on that's not so sales and discount driven. But that long-term brand building is the kind of messaging that goes out that just says who you are, what you stand for. You may not even see a product. People who are masterclasses at this are people like Dove, people who just remind you that they exist and what they stand for without going, hey, here's a bottle of shampoo. Do you want to buy it? $2.99 on sale at your nearest store. It's a difference. So it's the balance of the two. So any piece of marketing always has two different effects. Those sales things are very quick, short, like a little bit like sugar hit. Do a sales, goes up and then comes down. But brand work has a smaller effect, but has a slower decay over time. But we need to have an equilibrium. Too much demand, and we won't be able to fulfill it. Too little demand, and we won't be able to support it. So actually, where do we find that balance? What happens if we put out a campaign that absolutely goes gangbusters and we get thousands of customers come through our door, but actually we can't fulfill their orders? If you look on things like Kickstarter, so many Kickstarters have failed because they couldn't meet the demand. So starting from a point of capacity, start with your operations team, start with your fulfillment teams, start with your sales teams. Where do we need the activity? What are we trying to do? What are we trying to get more or less demand on? Are there seasonal peaks? And again, this is all the process of the marketing process. And how do we create that sustainable long-term growth where we're balancing good levels of demand with good levels of conversion?